Hey, family, good day, good day. It is Antonio, and I am here to really just start out another episode, episode number 3 of Re-engineering Your Life. Re-engineering Your Life. So thanks for coming out. If this is your first time coming out, my name is Antonio Cheeks, and I am part of the Cheeks Group. And what we do, we are a virtual and in-person training company. And we help leaders find their rhythm in their ministry or the marketplace by using personal leadership strategies and techniques. So if that's something you're interested in, you are in the right place tonight. Glad to have you here. We are here to help and to help you move to the next level. So we're in the middle of this session called Re-engineering Your Life. And we're talking about taking personal leadership and readjusting your life for the rest of the season here as we go into the last, well, we're actually in right now the last quarter of the year. So when we took our break last time we got together, we actually had people have questions about technology. So I said, okay, we'll talk about some technology today. People are talking about streaming, live streaming, so we'll talk about that. But what I want to do first is actually go into our regular studies around identity, personal leadership, personal mastery. So, hey, if you here now, go ahead and let us know how you're feeling today. Go ahead and put a, hey, I'm here in the chat. If this is your first time here, go ahead and put a number one in the chat. Let us know that you're here tonight. So go ahead and do that so we can monitor your chat and make sure that when you have questions, we're able to answer your questions. So let's go ahead and get that started saying, hi, hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Glad that you are here. So go ahead and put that number 1 in the chat right there. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Mark is in the house. Thanks for being here. We will definitely take care of you tonight. As always, you are a trooper and we love having you here. So let's go ahead and kind of like cruise through this little conversation tonight, picking back up on our personal leadership journey. And I'm really getting excited about this, but I got a lot to share with you today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I hope you've all had a great day today. The day was pretty good here. Weather is interesting. It's kind of cold, but now it seems like it's going to warm back up tomorrow, so that's going to be good. Hey, we got Karen in the house. Karen is in the house. She's doing good. That's good. Looking nice. Looking like, let me go ahead and see what I can do here. If I go ahead and can I show that? There, look at Karen. Karen is looking nice in the house, looking nice. I love it. I love it. Thanks for being in here, Karen. Thank you so much. So again, we're just going to go through a couple of things that I've been looking. We've been reading through the book. That was a car in the neighborhood. Sound like a race car. We've been reading through the book, Identity Leadership by Stedman Graham, and just picking up some of the ideas that he has around self-leadership. And one of the things he says right on the actually on the cover of his book is that to lead others, you must first lead yourself. And I'm really big on that. I believe that. I believe that's what we need to do. We need to get better at that. We need more self-leaders to be able to lead others. And so there's a reason. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Here's one reason why we should really make sure we're taking care of our leadership, our personal leadership, and mastering that. And that is, if when we do, we're able to actually have a better connection with who we are and the outcomes that we're looking for in our lives. As a matter of fact, people who are better at self-leading do not have to deal with this phrase here. And here's the phrase by Jack Welch. It says, control your destiny or someone else will. So you must control your destiny. And the people who are really good at self-leading themselves are better at controlling their own destiny. They actually know what they want and they know how to get it done. So today we're going to talk about leadership, self-leadership, personal leadership in the workplace, and what does that look like for us. So what I'm going to do, take a few minutes. I want to take a few minutes and go through some stats. And so the first stat that we have here is talking about the workplace. And let me see what's happening with American businesses. So American businesses, this is by Gallup, that they're the polling people. They do all the Gallup polls and things that you see on TV. So they did a poll, and what they discovered was that American businesses lose about 450 to 550 billion dollars a year. Why do you think that is? They're losing 450 to 550 billion dollars a year for one thing, and that is that there's no engagement with people, their staff. Matter of fact, 70% of the workforce is not engaged and does not work to their full potential. Now, why would that be? How can you be in a job where you are supposedly happy but not engaged? You took the job, so why is it that 70% of the workforce just in America is causing 450 to 550 billion dollars a year in losses? Now, if you're going to start a business, that's not something that you wanted to hear, but why are people disengaged? Now, for me, I think part of the problem is that when people are disengaged is because they have not taken the time out to really reflect on who they are and build their personal leadership brand. They're unfulfilled. All right, cool. I like that. I like the unfulfilled. Yeah, they're not really fulfilled, but they took the job. So who's at fault? Is the question. So the 70% of the workforce is not engaged. They don't feel like they're there, or they're doing what they call now, I've heard somebody say a quiet quitting or silent quitting, where they're on the job and they're doing the bare minimum, but they're not there. They don't want to be engaged. They don't want to participate. So they're doing the bare minimum. Why is that? Well, one of the things that we want to look at is that there's a secret to personal leadership, and that is, the secret is to simply do what you believe in. Then paint a picture of that future. What does that look like for you? And then go there. And if you do those things, then people will follow. Yes, people will follow if you do those things. But I'm under the impression now that the reason why we have that gap is that we're both at fault. The employers are at fault because maybe they're not allowing the employees to really live their full potential in the workplace. And secondly, it's the employee's fault. Again, y'all can chime in on what you think, but I believe that in this day and time, people are really just searching for something. So instead of searching for what really they have a passion for or that they believe in, as the quote said earlier, find what you believe in and follow that. I think people are just putting a Band-Aid on a situation real quick. So, and then once they actually get past that situation where they don't need that Band-Aid anymore, now that disconnect happened. So they start to disconnect from the work that they said they did the interview. They came with their suit and their best dress, and they decided that, hey, you know what? I don't want this anymore. So I think we both play a role, the employers, the business owners, and also the employees, because at the end of the day, you're choosing to step into these roles that now 70% of the American workforce are disengaged from. Guess what? You chose those. You chose those environments. You said, I will come in. They say, hey, when can you start? And what did you say? You said, I'll be there tomorrow. How soon do you want me here? You know, you've done it before. Or at least you gave the minimum 2 weeks, right? You said, hey, I can start in 2 weeks. But did you really want the job, or were you just filling a void, a need for a moment? And so now you're in a situation where you and some people end up what I call compensated beyond their capacity to change. So they want to change, but now they're so ingrained in their work, they can't change. They can't, their family situation at home, you know, the kids are in college or maybe in private schools, and the income that you're making from the choices that you made, now you can't break away from it because it's part of who you are now. So yeah, I just wanted to go through that, but there's something that makes a difference here. Let me come back to you guys. There's something that can make a difference. And in the book, again, I'm reading through Identity Leadership. If you're looking for that book, you don't have to search far. I have an affiliate link down in the description below, so you can get that. If you don't see it, hit the more button and you'll see it then. All right, so in the book, they talk about soft skills. And so soft skills are part of your emotional intelligence. your ability to, matter of fact, let me just read it for you. I'll just read this real quick. An emotionally intelligent person is aware of his or her emotions, is able to express them and control them, and handle relationships with wisdom and empathy. Emotionally intelligent people can harness and apply their emotions to tasks such as creativity or creation. They can also, when it comes to decision making, they can actually harness those emotions when it comes to decision making. They can control those emotions when they have to make a critical decision. And problem solving, when it comes to problem solving, they can actually control that. Also, they have the ability to sense in you the emotions that you're going through because they are so keen about their emotional intelligence that they can start picking it up on other people. And one of the things that people who are very good with emotional intelligence, I know this might sound interesting, right? But people who are really keen on emotional intelligence, they tend to cheer for you when you're trying to proceed with something, when you're having successes. Now, I know that sounds wild or strange because you're thinking, well, of course, people will cheer for you when you're moving in the right direction. But my friends, no, everybody's not cheering for you. And everybody's not praying for you. Yes, you're moving forward and you're trying to strive and you're having great news and you're sharing it with friends or people you think that are your friends, and they are not happy for you at all. But people who are good with emotional intelligence, you can tell because they'll be the ones cheering for you when you need them. They'll be the ones beside you, walking beside you as you're going through an issue because they're tuned into your emotional state because they have practiced the skills of self-leadership. They practice the skill of self-leadership. Let me get some feedback from you guys. What do you, when we talk about the disengagement of employees in the workplace, and how does self-leadership play a role in that? What role is self-leadership playing or not playing when it comes to the workforce and the disengagement? Now, this has been a story that's been going on for a long time. It has been, we're talking about it. This is 2022, but I think this was going on back in the 90s. Stuff is just secular. It goes around, it comes around. And I think people have been dealing with this employment disengagement thing for a long time. We just call it different things as we evolve as a society. But what are you feeling? If you have comments, questions, or concerns about that, I'd like to hear what you're thinking about self-leadership or your personal leadership development and how that plays in the workplace. One of the things that I'm discovering that people who are good at personal leadership or their personal mastery are really great at being a servant leader. They actually, because they're confident in their self and who they are, they don't have any problem serving. They're at that level of self-actualization that they don't mind helping someone else. Oh, yeah. I like what Mark is saying here is philosophical too. Yeah. A job versus a career. Which one are you picking? Are you picking a job or a career? And I think that most people are picking the job. They're just getting a job. Hey, you know what? Let me get in. Ooh, I can breathe now. I don't have to worry about, I can meet those immediate needs. I think in Maslow's hierarchy of need, and it starts off, the basic needs is just being able to feed yourself and have shelter. So you're like, hey, you know what? Let me just get some food on the table. Let me turn on the lights, because having the lights turned off is not sexy. I don't care what anybody said. That's not a good look. You're in the middle of a dinner and then all of a sudden the lights goes off. That's not a good look. However, so you just take the job. So that's a good point. Job versus career. What are you choosing? Did you take the time out to do a self-evaluation? Remember earlier, I think it was like week 1 or week 2. Definitely in week 1, it was like really looking at and asking yourself questions about your identity. Who are you? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Where are you going? Things of that nature. And so that's important that you know who you are. When you don't know who you are, then anything will do. And like the comment that came up earlier, I think I had a comment earlier that if you don't know who you are, then anything will do. I mean, if you can't control your destiny, then someone will step in for sure and say to you, oh, I got a plan for you. You don't have a plan for yourself? I got one for you. And you're going to like it. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to give it to you. And then we end up years later trying to escape from something that was actually designed for us. We didn't design or engineer for ourselves. Isn't it amazing? The power of self-leadership and how not being aware of who you are, where you're going, and how you're going to get there, not having that completely designed out in advance can really be a detriment to your well-being. It can be a detriment to your health, your sanity, your security. Yes, it can really be, and you may not feel it at first, but over time, when you don't know who you are, know where you're going, and know how you're going to get there, because you may need people to join your journey. So how do you talk about your journey? How do you talk about where you're going to go? Can you, for lack of a better word, can you sell people on your journey and have them buy in and join you? So that's the first half of this session tonight. I wanted to talk about your identity and what that means and how that affects your work. And next week we're going to talk about how some of this stuff affects our health. So we're going to talk about health and wellness a little bit next week as far as our personal leadership. Because our goal here at the Cheeks Group is to help you find your rhythm. And I believe personally, if we don't take care of the physical part, all the dreams and all the stories and all the planning that we're doing, if we don't take care of the physical part, it's going to be difficult to get to what we're dreaming or what we told people we wanted to do. So personal leadership is really about being a courageous leader who can lead in 360 degrees. So your mind, body, soul, spirit, those things, you want to lead in three, like a compass. You want to lead all around the compass, and you want to get those areas done. So that's my first half of this session tonight. The second half of the session was a request. People, I had a couple of people asking me about live streaming and some of the stuff I was doing, and so I said, all right, you know what? I'll take a couple of minutes for tonight and just share some of the stuff that we're doing here at the Cheeks Group and share that with you tonight. I'm not doing a training tonight on how to live stream or anything like that, but give you an insight to my world a little bit deeper. So let me do this. So there's a couple of things we need to understand when it comes to live streaming as I shift here. Live streaming is more than just sitting in front of a camera and, in my opinion, and pushing the play button or pushing the camera and talking. The other thing about live streaming is that it's not really a new thing. Live streaming has been around for a long time. Well, of course, when you look at the news, they're on site and they're always live streaming. They're saying, hey, here on the site, we're first to report this and that. But live streaming for the consumer has also been around for a long time. What has happened is it has become more mainstream, especially since COVID hit a couple of years ago. So now live streaming is not only something that individuals are learning how to do, but it's something that corporations do as well. Corporations are like, how do we live stream and talk about our products or our services? Churches are live streaming. When COVID hit, churches had to figure out a way to make sure they get the good news still going forward. So they shifted to live streaming. And so micro enterprises, so you might be an entrepreneur or startup business, and now you're saying, wow, you know what? The things I used to do are things that was mainstream before. Some of that can be eliminated because now I can just go right to the consumer by live streaming. Live streaming will allow the consumer to see us or our company or the individual in a different light. And it's more personable as well. And for me, it's the way I live stream. It's not scripted in a sense. There is some scripting to my live stream, but for the most part, this is it. You're getting what you see is what you get. But what I try to do is bring in elements. And I think that's what people are kind of really interested in. How do I bring in certain elements? For example, like when we bring up, if you're live streaming, you want to bring up somebody's comment. That was a big one question. Like, how is that going on? How are you bringing up what people are saying? How do you bring that up? If I wanted to bring up a video or maybe a chart or a PowerPoint presentation without telling you, hold on, let me share my screen, how do you do that? How are we doing that? And so I'm just talking about live streaming from the beginner's perspective, not somebody that's been doing it for a while, but somebody who's like, hey, you know what? How do I push go for the first time? How do I do that? How do I get myself set up? Now, here's the thing you need to know about live streaming. Live streaming is an inner and outer game process. Live streaming is an inner and outer game process. So there's the mindset, the inner game, and your gut too. Because it's a nervous thing. It's nerve wracking because when you're live streaming, you're on camera. People are out there, but you really don't see them until you see their avatar come up on the screen. So and they give you feedback and stuff like that, and that's when you're like, okay, I'm engaging with people. But for the most part, you can be doing a live stream and be totally by yourself, although it's live, because the power of repurposing videos is big, meaning that you can replay it, you can chop it up, cut it up, and play certain segments of a video, and that video has a longer shelf life than before. So now you can. So going back to the history, live streaming really started taking off with YouTube. They started adding, you can go live now with YouTube, and also Facebook kind of like piggyback, or they was kind of like almost at the same time rising up with this live streaming thing. And then I think you can go live on Instagram now. Almost every platform you can go live on now, just about. It's a thing. If you get this thing, you're good. If you ignore it, you're missing out on a great opportunity to serve your people in a different way, that they can look at on their own time if they wanted to. But I think some people like the engagement of live. But anyway, and speaking of live streaming, tonight I'm not talking about Zoom, because Zoom is actually, as far as a platform to use, is like the queen of all platforms. And so there is a conversation about Zoom and how you can make that really pop, and how you can separate yourself from everybody else that's doing Zoom. And people want to come to your Zoom meetings more frequently because you do something differently. We could talk about that at a later time, but we're just talking about getting and pushing go to go live. All right. So here's the first thing you need to know. When it comes to live streaming, there are two ways of doing it. There is web-based, meaning the vehicle that you use to live stream is not sitting on your computer. It is actually a web browser-based program that you log into, and they house all your videos, and you stream from that platform. And I'll give you an example of that today. The other way of live streaming is system-based. That means that the program that you are using is sitting on your actual computer. Now, there's a lot of pros and cons to both. So if it's system-based, one of the pros is no matter how old your computer is, if you have good internet connection, you can start live streaming today. If your computer is 2012, 2010, 2010, 2009, 11, 12, you can start live streaming and not have to worry about your processing speed or the workload on your computer, because it's all web-based. What you do have to worry about is a great internet connection, so the streaming upload of your streams can be really good and really crisp. The other part of the streaming thing is computer-based, or sitting right on your computer. With that, you definitely need to make sure you have the right specs for live streaming from your computer. And there's pros and cons for both. And And I won't even tell you which way I lean towards. 'Cause I want you to, really just figure this stuff out for yourself, try it out for yourself, and see which one is good for you. With that being said, let me go right into a couple of examples of a web base. And I'm just going to show one, but they typically all work the same. I'll show you one web base, and I'm going to show you one computer-based streaming software and what you can do with that. So let me go here. Let me bring this up. And the first program I'm going to tell you about is called StreamYard. Now, StreamYard is interesting because it will allow you, regardless of your computer speed or how powerful your computer is, it will allow you to stream today because it's browser-based, meaning you don't have to have all the power on your computer. You can actually just, for example, here's the home page for StreamYard. This is one software that I use. As a matter of fact, this software last week, when I was live streaming, I was not controlling the live stream. Someone else was controlling the live stream because they logged in as an admin for me, and they had control over the comments coming up, questions. All I was able to do, that gave me the opportunity to just talk to the people. So I like that. So in order for me to show you this, I can't be on it this time. I'm using another platform tonight. But let me go through this. So this product, StreamYard, and again, I'm just showing you one. There's other streaming softwares out there that are web-based. Again, write this down. I'm talking about web-based, meaning it's online. It's not sitting on your computer, but it gives you the opportunity to stream immediately without worrying about computer specs. So look at this. So it is, all you need to get started is your email address. They give you an email, you put your email in, they send you a code, and they set you up and you're ready to go. Now, it is actually a free program. Say this, y'all. Put this in the chat. If it's free, it's for me. If it's free, it's for me. So you can start this program for free and you really never have to pay for it. Now, there's some pros and cons to being free. You get what you pay for, right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you right off the bat some of the pricing. I'm right here. You see the line right there. I'm going to show you the pricing. First of all, let me just go through the page here. It's a really clean, bright live streaming community. You pretty much go online and you can stream, as you can see here, to Facebook, YouTube. You can actually do multiple streams to different platforms at the same time. That is what people are loving about live streaming. You can go to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and many more at the same time. And then you can set up your color schemes and how you want things to look and brand yourself. And I'm going to show you some of this stuff, but I'm not going to go through a lot of it because this is just, you got Gary Vee. Some of you may know him, may not, but he's definitely a voice when it comes to this social media branding and things of that nature. But yeah, people are using this and they don't have to worry about, again, the benefit is, hey, how you doing? The benefit is you do not have to have a very powerful computer because it's web-based. Let's go right into pricing. And then we'll go into pricing. And I'll show you some of the specs on the inside of it. So pricing, as you can see, they have a free option, which means, and it doesn't change. It's free as long as you want it to be free. And you can start, live stream anywhere. You can do things like share your screen, and you can have up to 6 people or participants on your stream at the same time. And you can see online comments, banners, and I'll talk about what banners are, and brand colors. You can change your brand colorings, and you can do what they call a green screen. And guess what? Then you go down here, it says start for free. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Now, again, there's many of them out there, but if you want to give this a test drive, and I'm going to show you why in a second here, you don't even have to try to find it. There's a link, an affiliate link. Y'all know what affiliate links are? Let me explain real quick what affiliate links are. I was me and my wife were talking about somebody. We were talking about restaurants, and we was like, "Well, what's a good restaurant?" And he said, "What about this one?" I think we asked, "What about this restaurant here?" And we were like, "Oh, okay, you think that's a good one?" And they said, "Yeah, that's a good restaurant." Well, They referred us to this restaurant because they liked the food. So they said, yeah, this food is pretty good. We was like, all right, cool. The restaurant does not know that we were referred to them. We just go and enjoy ourselves. Well, what if the restaurant said, hey, look, since you referred somebody to me, like y'all always do, we always do it, right? Go see this movie, go to this play, check out this restaurant. Well, what if the restaurant or the movie theater was to say, hey, here's $2 or whatever for referring the people to us? Wouldn't that be cool? And what if that the price of the food or the movie ticket does not change whatsoever? That's even better, right? So that's what affiliate links are. You pay the same price, like free is free. But what they're doing is they're saying, hey, Antonio, thanks for referring. And free, I won't get anything for free. So you got the thing. But if you notice, you have these other plans that are called price plans. So for $20 a month, if you decide to do that, the big thing that is on there is that these programs will have their logo on your stream. So if you're streaming and you got the free program, in the corner, they're going to have a little logo that belongs to them on your live stream. So if you're just streaming just to get out there and have fun, free is for me. However, if you are trying to, let me do this. Let me put myself here. If you are trying to, brand yourself or do something else with it, then maybe that's not for you. Maybe you want to have more control if you're trying to brand your product or your services. Maybe you don't want to have the Ecamm, not Ecamm, the StreamYard thing on there. But anyway, you get that, and you get the ability to do unlimited streaming. You could get the ability to add your logos, as we were saying earlier, overlays and backgrounds. I'll talk about that real quick. And then they have a professional plan. Most people don't need a professional plan. If anything, you're going to need 0, free, or 20. Let me do this for you real quick. I want to go let you see what it looks like inside. So if I go over, let's say you go here, you get things going, put your email in, they send you a code, and guess what? You logged in. And this is what it looks like when you log in. You come to this page, and what you see is broadcasts, videos, destinations, and members. These are people that can be on your team. So real quick, I went on and created a test area. So they have what they call studios. I've already created a test studio, and I'm going to show you what's inside the studio. So when you go inside the studio, you enter the studio. So as we're entering the broadcast, they'll give you some helpful hints. And there you go. You see me on the computer screen in the video, ready to go live streaming. And and you can select your camera. You see my mic going up and down kind of crazy. You also can see, let's see here. You can also see my name, how it's going to be displayed there. You see all of that right there. Now, the other thing you can do is check out your settings. This is before going any further. You can change your camera. If I wanted to use a different camera, I could do that. If I wanted to change microphones, I could change my microphones right through here. It's really good stuff. So let's just go back to the basic stuff here, and let's just go close that. And let me see if I can just go in real quick and, hey, just go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter the studio right here, down at the bottom here in blue and white. It says enter the studio. So when you enter the studio, you're gonna see a blank canvas just like that. And in that blank canvas, you determine what you want to have on there. For example, right now, I'm not in the live stream, but if I wanted to be in a live stream, I would actually put myself in there. I would put myself into the live stream. Also, over on the side here, you have your comments, your chats, things of that nature. Oh, I know why I'm not in there, because I'm actually using the camera, so I can't use the camera twice. But when people make comments, you will be able to see those comments come across the screen. Also in here, you'll be able to see things such as things that you want to have come up on the screen beforehand. Like if you want people to like lower thirds or different things that you want to have come up on the screen, you can actually make that happen right then and there. And that would all be on this right-hand side. You will see all the commands that you have. And anything that's going to be programmed into your stream will be down here at the bottom where you see my little silhouette right there. It would be right there. So that's StreamYard. And it's really easy, ready to go. And it's a real winner. It's really easy to do. The other thing you can do is go to what we call, let me go back here. The other thing you can do is you can also use system-based. So system-based is a little different. This is when you actually have things actually on your computer. And so when it comes to system-based stuff, there is one program that I use called Ecamm Live. So let me just let you see what that looks like. See if I can bring that up for you. Ecamm Live. So this is their website, Ecamm Live. The good thing about Ecamm Live is that it is on your computer. Here's the caveat. It's only for Mac computers. So it only runs on Mac computers. However, there are other programs that will work on PC, and we can talk about that at a later day. But this is on my computer, and this is what I'm using today because I wanted to show you the other program, and I can't be on that program and show you this at the same time. So what you can do here is not only can you go live streaming, but you can also record videos. So let me let you see what that looks like. So let me go out of here. Let me stop sharing my screen. Or maybe I wasn't sharing my screen. Hold on. There. Right. So, okay. Why didn't you say something, guys? Did y'all say anything? Did y'all say I wasn't sharing my screen? So, yeah. So here I am sharing my screen. And this is Ecamm Live. And Ecamm Live has a dynamic community where you can share, you can broadcast your studio, you can stream at different things at the same time. You have a community of experts who are helping you stream. It is a good way of making your videos and live streaming pop. And it's also good to integrate with Zoom. So the things that I would do in Ecamm, I can use Ecamm as a virtual camera. Don't worry about that right now. It's a virtual camera that you can actually stream to through Zoom. Wow. All right. So with that being said, now this has pricing to it. I think they don't have a free version. They have a trial for 14 days. If you want to try it out. And then they have a plan that's standard 16 and 32. And there's different things packed inside of those. So you can check that out. Now, also in the link, if you want to just try it out and play around with it, you can do that. That's in the description of the video as well. Now, here's the good thing about, here's something I wanted to say about this. Let me take this out the way out so I can see you better. When we talk about live streaming platforms, it does not mean that every time you use it, you're going to be live streaming. Sometimes you could just, hey, I just want to record something and send that out later. Maybe I want to record it and edit it. Here's the other thing. Live streaming is not about just shooting a video. Live streaming is about producing a show. Live streaming is about producing a show. So that's the other reason why I love these systems, whether it be web-based or system-based. I like the fact that I'm not just streaming, just putting something out there. I'm actually producing a show. So both platforms will have you, whether it be web-based or computer-based, they will have you, give you the opportunities to actually stream your produced show. I want you to imagine going to the play. When you go to a play, they have acts, they have scenes and acts. So when you're doing live streaming, your mindset now is, how do I create my scenes in my play or in my movie? And each scene is going to have certain elements in it. For example, what you're looking at right now is a scene. Now, in this scene, I may want to have certain elements in it. For example, I might want to bring in another look in the scene with a comment. That is something that I'm bringing into a scene. So you can do that, and you do this beforehand. You don't wait and try to do this while the show is going on. So let me see if I can show you what my dashboard looks like. Let me see. How can I do that? 1 second. Oh, here we go. Let me see here. There's a way I can let you see this, because this is a little more complicated. I don't know. Hold on. Oh, let me see here. there's a way I can let you see everything that I'm looking at, so you get an idea that when I'm producing the show, I'm seeing some interesting things. So let me see here, and I will show you this real quick. Share screen. Let me go up here to the top. See if I can find it up here. 1 second, everybody. Live demo mode. Okay. So what you can probably see now, Karen, give me a thumbs up if you can see my whole screen. No, you cannot. Yes, you can. Okay, so it was a little delay. So now what you're looking at is my whole screen. So you're looking at what I'm looking at. And what you're looking at now is how I develop my screen for you. So this is Ecamm Live. This is not the only service. This is the service that works for me because I'm a Mac user. I like using Mac. So in Ecamm Live, as you can see here, all my comments that come in is right here in front of me. So now I'm able to see the comment. Like Mark said, what browser do I use? All of them. I use Chrome or Safari. But when I'm doing the streaming with the programs, they actually recommend Chrome. That they think Chrome works better for their system. What I'm using for this right here, this particular view that you're looking right now is actually just sitting on my computer. The software is actually on my computer. And so it looks like a whole bunch of stuff going, but it's not a lot of stuff. It really isn't. Let me actually delete some of these things that are on here. Yeah, let me delete some of these things so you don't get, like, oh my God, what's all this stuff? All right. So basically what I have on here now is this box that you see in the middle. This is the most important box here. This box right here. This is where I set up, wrong side. This is where I set up my scenes that I want to show you. For example, when I want to show you and I want to show, let's say, me and this picture here. So I set these scenes up in advance. If I wanted to show this picture here, I set it up in advance. So I'm setting up these scenes so you can see it ultimately. I'm not waiting till I actually go live to set this up. That would be crazy. So what I'm doing is I set this up in advance and I practice. So now all I got to do is when I'm ready for you to see a scene, I actually just hit on it. Like, so if I want to come back to myself, I just hit on that scene that I thought about, that I produced beforehand, and now we're back together. So that's it. So when you have a scene, again, you have other elements that come in. Another element that might come in would be something like overlays. What are overlays? Those are the things that will go into this scene here. It is so fun to produce, and you can also do things like control your sound, like things like horns. You can bring all those things into your sounds and into your thing here. You can also bring in just your music. You can bring in different musics. You just can do a lot. So I love it. So that's what I'm doing right here. This is what I'm seeing because this is what I produced to send out to you guys. But what you see, let me go see if I can find it again. All you see is, let's see if I can find it up here. Where is it? Yeah, what you see is this picture here. This is what you see. So, but behind the scenes is a whole production. So I love it. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna end the class now. I'm getting up out of here. I just wanted to talk about leadership, and then I also wanted to share, because people ask, how do you live stream? It's really not just getting in front of the camera and go. It is actually a process that you need to practice. And it also is a process that somebody may need to hold your hand and walk you through. So guess what I'm gonna do? Since I said that, I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna offer to walk you through it. Let's do this. Boom, here it is. Saturday, November the 12th, 2022, we're gonna do a workshop, and the workshop is gonna be live. We're gonna be using Zoom, so you can be able to see, I'll be able to see you, be able to see me, we'll be able to talk to each other, and we're gonna talk about how to live stream like a pro for beginners, even if you never live streamed before. Right now it's kind of quick, we're going right through it, but we're gonna do this live workshop, how to live stream for beginners. Saturday, November the 12th, 2022. We're going to begin at 9 a.m. So there's a link in the description. You want to go ahead and hit that link and register now. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what's going on with this. This is not a free event. This is not a free event. It is actually priced at $97 for this training live. Here's the thing. It's not a YouTube video that you have to hope somebody answers your question. I'm going to be right there with you answering your questions. Also, $97 because you guys are close to me and my friends. I'm going to do something that I just thought about today. And that is I'm going to give you a code for a, this is crazy. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm going to give you a code to get some money off. I'm going to give you a code so you can get 10% off. So let me come back to myself so y'all can see me saying this. So I'm going to give you a code, a discount code so you can do that. And here's the code. The code is SHINE22. Because we were talking last week, shine when you're online. SHINE22. When you hit the link to check out, get your ticket, put in the discount code or promotion code SHINE22, and you will get 10% off the already low price that I gave you. I don't know what we're doing here. But anyway, that's where we are. Go ahead and look. Here's the thing. I only open up 20 spots because what I don't want to do is have 50, 100 people trying to figure out and ask me questions and I don't have time. I want to be able to take time. I only got 20 slots. Here's the unfortunate thing for you. It went live already. So I don't know if there's 20 slots left. It went live earlier today. So if you're interested in doing that, $97, use the code SHINE22, get 10% off. So it takes your price down even lower. And then we'll see you on November, I think it's the 12th, November the 12th. I'll make sure I got my date right. Matter of fact, let me go back to the ad. Yep, November the 12th. Come on out, guys. We're going to take our time, roll up our sleeves, mark like the question like software that you use, Chrome, Firefox. We're going to actually go. We're going to do some live demo. Matter of fact, if you have one of the softwares or one of the browser-based programs, when you come to the training, we're going to open up and let you walk through. We're going to walk you through that hands-on. So when you finish the workshop, you'll be able to stream like a pro. Even if you're a beginner, you'll feel like a pro. And so you have more confidence, more clarity, and just, better vision about what you want to do with your live stream. Hey, everybody, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate you being here. I am going to go ahead and shut this one down. Another one in the box. We have next week, we're going to talk more about health and wellness and the importance that plays when we talk about our personal leadership. So again, any last questions? Let me see. Let me go ahead to the chat and see what's going on. Any more reactions or chats or things of that nature? Thanks again, Mark, for coming out. I appreciate you being here. Really do. We actually got to get some FaceTime. I don't know when that's going to happen, man. You got to let me know. Hey, send me your calendar so I can pick a date to get on your calendar. I know you're busy. So, okay, I'm clear. So with that being said, thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out. Again, my name is Antonio, and we're helping leaders find their rhythm in the marketplace or ministry using personal leadership strategies and techniques. All right, y'all take it easy. We're out of here. How do I even stop this thing? Here we go. Y'all take care, and I'll talk to y'all on the next side. Bye-bye now.